Hey there, Expanse friends. I know it's a little weird that I'm talking to you face to face as opposed to, a disembodied voice over some screenshots, but next week is my birthday, the big 4-1, and I thought it would be really amazing to hit 1,000 subscribers before or on my birthday. So I thought I would just take a moment here at the beginning of this video and just put that out there, that if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I mean, I'm humbled that I've been able to get this many people to actually subscribe and believe in what I do and like what I do. So thank you, first of all, if you already subscribed. And if you haven't, and this is the first video you've seen, or you've been watching the videos but not sure if you want to commit to subscribe or anything, I get it and I understand, and that's cool. But I would appreciate it if you would just consider, for me, for my birthday, to hit that subscribe button and join the family here. So that's it. Just quick little blurb here, and we'll get back to the show. Hello there, fellow Expanse fans. It's Chris, and this is my episode 6, top 5 plus 1 extra awesome thing. But before we begin, I feel compelled to discuss something real quick. Recently, in the comments of one of my videos, I had a conversation with a commenter. It was lovely, not a big deal, but it did raise an issue that I think I should talk about in case there is any confusion. Basically, the commenter said to the effect, "Love your videos, great job, but don't harp on the books so much. The books and the TV shows are different," and that is absolutely correct, and not something that I take lightly. The thing is, this channel exists specifically to compare TV shows and movies to their literary counterparts. So the whole point is to kind of harp on the book, in the sense that I always refer back to the source material for anything I'm talking about in an episode or a movie, either in a good or bad. As we've seen in The Expanse, a lot of the stuff that they have done, that they have changed from the novels, has been amazing and great and made the story better. So I point that out, as much as when a deviation from the source material, I think, hurts the story. So I just want to make sure that was clear, in case anyone's wondering. That's why I'm always commenting about the books and bringing them up, because the whole intent behind my channel is to do that. So yeah, I hope that clears any confusion up, and I mean, feel free to talk to me about it. I love talking to people. I don't mind if you disagree or have a strong opinion. I'm good with that. So all right, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Number 5, Aaron Wright's fall. Again, I love how they are switching up things in the show when compared to the source material. In the novels, the Secretary General was really kind of an idiot. Christian referred to him, to his face even, as a bobblehead. Given he wasn't really a presence in the books, this type of characterization doesn't really present a problem. But making him a larger part of the story, that means he needs to be a little bit more well-rounded and interesting. His exchange with the good Reverend here shows us just who he really is now, and it's not the simpleton everyone thinks he is. It's very cool and is a very good thing for his character going forward. Coming in at number 4, the scuttle of the Agatha King. A lot of people are mourning the loss of Kotyar, that cool dude who's on the screen right now. And I get it. He was a pretty outstanding character, and the actor is fantastic. The character in the novels feels older and is much more reserved. He also doesn't have a heroic death, if I remember correctly. Again, this is a moment that was completely created for the show that elevates the entire story. Giving his character this moment was great, in my opinion, and really drove home the stakes personally to Christian. Having lost her son and now losing someone who was as close to her son as he was must have been devastating. In the novels, the king is scuttled by a character introduced basically for that purpose, so having the sacrifice be from a person we have grown to know was a great touch, so kudos to the writers. Number 3, We Can Be Heroes. And we now come to my all-time favorite change the show has made from the novels, and that is around who goes to the king to stop the protomolecule missiles / pods. In the novels, Holden is basically the only person who ever risks his life when it comes to the alien tech. I mean, for the majority of any hair-raising, life-risking mission, Holden's always front and center because he's the hero. He sends everyone else down to Io to find and free the kids in the novels, while he heads to the king to turn back on the transponders. It is so much more satisfying that they have Alex lead the charge to save Mars, since, he has an ex-wife and son living there. Giving agency to the other characters like this is a welcome change for so many reasons. So, well done, writers. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot today. Number 2, Bobby versus Katoa. I mean, at this point, can you love Bobby anymore? No, I don't think so. This was some of the most entertaining, frigging awesome sequences in the show. I love seeing her in the powered armor being a badass and taking out the hybrid that unfortunately was once Katoa. The only thing I miss from the books is the glimpse into how smart and methodical she is. And that's not to say that they have made her out to be a dumb marine or anything. But in the book that this confrontation occurs in, we get to see Bobby formulate her attack plan and carry it out by studying her enemy and identifying its weaknesses. She watches video from her suit over and over again of the original attack she survived to analyze and find the weakness. And it would have been nice to see that in a more deliberate, obvious way in the show, but that is a minor dig. And man, seeing her after the battle as Alex is taking her to the med bay was brutal. Until the smile starts spreading across her face, as she's done her job and avenged her friends and took out the bad guy. Just superb. And coming in at number 1, Prax isn't that man. But oh my god, Amos is. I mean, my absolute favorite thing about this season has been Amos and Prax. Watching their relationship develop and Amos, basically have no idea what's going on has been priceless. And all of that culminating in Prax finding May and telling her who Amos is, and then Amos just dumbfounded, was poetry. Then seeing him protect what is good and decent in Prax by stopping him from executing Strickland, friends' tears were very nearly falling from my cold dead eyes. And then, of course, Amos dispensing justice himself, since that which he wanted to protect in Prax had been ripped from him long ago. Again, poetry. And finally, a special mention for this week's episode, 1B, A Venus Awakens. This is just going to be a quick hit, but I loved the way they showed the protomolecule rising from Venus all Brainiac-like. Again, completely different from the novels, but I think it was much more visually effective than the original. In the novel, the protomolecule reacts violently to the eradication of the hybrids, streams of black filament erupting like geysers from the surface and spinning out into space, swatting ships out of the way as if they were flies. While narratively that has a lot of impact, there is something much more visually appealing to seeing the majestic rise of, what looks a lot like a space jellyfish from the gaseous form of Venus. I'm looking forward to seeing if they change anything else about the event in the coming episodes, because there's a lot of crazy stuff coming, and seeing how they handle it will be really fun. Okay, that's it. A ton happened in this episode, and it was probably the best episode of the season for me, if not the entire series, which is saying a lot because there's been an amazing amount of glorious things in this show. And so, if I left out your favorite thing, I'm sorry. These are just the things that, specifically for me, knowing what happened in the novels, that stood out as changes that were just fantastic and phenomenal. So that is why I covered them. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, throw them in the comments. And man, just as an aside before I go, I have been part of a number of fandoms, if you will, of shows that have been threatened to cancel or were canceled, and I gotta tell you, the fan base of The Expanse is one of the most amazing I've ever seen or been a part of. There's a very good chance that because of the efforts of the fans, that this show will live on, and it has not gone unnoticed, especially by the cast and crew of the show, who have been just amazing themselves, fighting for this show. So if you're a part of that group and you are an Expanse fan, great job. Just wow. Thank you. I've been working towards them being renewed as well, but thank you for stepping up as someone who loves this show, to make sure that it has a future. And so you deserve and should get a pat on the back. And this is me giving you one. So that is it. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you all have a great day.